welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm coming at you with an interesting video. Today's video, I'm going to share with you a simple tallow soap that I like to make. This is a small batch of soap. It only requires 3 ingredients and it's very easy to make, very simple. So in front of me, well, first thing I'm going to show is the recipe that I like to use. So I'm going to be using 10 ounces of tallow, 1.4 ounces of lye, and 3.3 ounces of water. So the first thing I like to do, as you can see, is pre-measure my ingredients. And here you can see that in this container I have just the water. Again, that's 3.3 ounces of water. In this container I have my lye. This is 1.4 ounces of lye. And last but not least, in this container here, at a very low temperature, I have my beef tallow. Hope you can see that. Okay, this is 10 ounces of tallow. So let's get started. A couple other things that you see that you might need is a glass mixing bowl of some sort. I'm going to just use a simple Pyrex bowl. Obviously I have my containers that I'm going to be using my things in. I have my recipe here. Back here I have a small container, and what this is a tapered container. I'm going to use this basically as a mold that I'm going to pour my soap into. You'll see that in a minute. A lot of people say to use a hand mixer or a hand blender. I'm going to use a cheap hand mixer. And this is going to take a little bit more time to get a trace out of the mix, but it'll still work really well. So let's go ahead and take our water. We'll go ahead and put our water in this bowl. Again, 3.3 ounces of water. We're going to put that in the bowl. Now we're going to mix the lye to the water. Now it's important, as always, to make sure that you always mix the dry lye into the liquid water, not vice versa. You don't want to put water into the lye. You always want to put the dry into the wet. This is going to get hot. We're going to just kind of mix it up a little bit. This is going to create a chemical reaction. So you want to make sure that you're in a well ventilated area when you do this, and basically we want to stir it with just a simple wooden spoon. We just want to stir it until we see it clear itself up. You can smell the chemicals. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the hand mixer at a very low speed here. Don't worry too much if you get bubbles and stuff. It's not that big of a deal. We're making a small batch of soap here. You can see that the coloration of this is starting to clear up a bit. From here, we're going to take our tallow. Again, 10 ounces of tallow. We're going to put our tallow into our mix. Get our hand mixer ready. You want to try to make sure that all these chemicals, the tallow and the lye and water mix, you want to try to make sure that they're all around 100 degrees or approximately the same temperature. So from here, what we want to do is we want to introduce our hand mixer into the mix, and we want to mix it until we find a trace. On a real low speed right now. Kind of wondering if I should have used a larger bowl because I'm getting a little bit of splashing. So bear with me, let me get a different bowl. Okay everybody, I'm back. I have a slightly larger bowl. I'm just just going to transfer the contents into here. I should have started with this size of a bowl to begin with. Don't know why I started with that small one. So I'm basically putting the mix in this larger bowl, and again I'm going to mix it until I get a trace. High speed, as you can tell. Okay folks, we're back. We've been mixing this for about 10 minutes, and I'm running the beaters through, and I'm looking down and I have a slight trace, just a very small trace, and that's perfect for what I'm looking for. Let me show you what that looks like real quick. So I'm just moving the beaters through, and you can see that the material is just very lightly tracing the beaters. That's exactly what I want. Once I establish that trace, I'm pretty much done with the mixing process of the soap. From here, I'm going to take my mixer out. Obviously, I'm going to clear my beaters here. Set this aside. And from here, I'm going to take, again, my mold, whatever mold I'm going to use, and I'm just going to pour the soap mix into my mold. Hope I'm not getting in the way of the camera too much. At this point in time, we're going to need to cover this and let it sit overnight. What I like to use to cover my soap is just a simple paper plate, and I'm going to put some towels over it to try to keep the heat inside the soap. Nothing too substantial, nothing too crazy. This will kind of protect the material, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Gonna let it sit for 24 hours. Well, good morning everybody. This soap has had approximately 24 hours to heal, or should I say to cure, to set up, if you will. So let's take a look and see what we've got here. Looks like we have a nice bit of soap. I'm going to use the plate that I had earlier, and I'm just going to dump this upside down, and I'm going to kind of drop it. What I'm hoping for is that it'll drop out of the mold. There we go. Dropped right out of the mold. Now at this point I'm going to cut this thing into small pieces. Nothing too crazy. I don't need too big of bars, so I'm cutting it into fairly small bars. You know, you can cut the bars to whatever size you want them to be. If you want bigger bars, then you obviously cut them a little larger. Smaller bars, cut them smaller. Have it. If you're going to be giving soap away, like say maybe you have a friend and you're going to let them try some soap, then you can cut some small bars like this and just give it to them as a sample. But for my case, That's about what my cuts look like. Nothing crazy. Pretty simple. From here, we have to let this stuff cure for about 4 to 6 weeks. What I like to do to let it cure, excuse me, is I like to take, right now I have a cardboard box and I have some sticks, just some small kindling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this box down and I'm going to set these sticks in. This will make sense here in a second. The purpose of the sticks is to help aerate the soap. I'll show you here in a second what I'm doing. Let's take a quick look down inside and I'll show you what I'm doing here. See, I have the sticks laid down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set the soap on top of these wood sticks, and it's going to let airflow go in and out both sides of the soap during the curing process. So I'm going to go ahead and take these pieces of soap, just lay them down. I'll show you again here in a second. You want to try to lay them down in a way where you get the most airflow through the soap as possible. This will help cure the soap really well. Now, I know this soap isn't fancy looking soap like some of the soap that you might see other people making, but it works great. Been using this type of soap for quite a long time now. Never had a problem with it. So let me show you what I've got. Once again, I've got my soap laid down into the box. You can see that I have it laid down on the sticks. And this will sit, again, like I said, between 4 and 6 weeks. And then what I'll do to test it to see if it's ready or not is I'll take one bar out. I usually take a small bar out and I'll look at it and I'll see how it's holding up. You know, basically what I'll do is I'll use it just like soap that it is, and I'll see how my skin reacts to it. And if my skin has any kind of negative reactions, then I'll know that it needs to cure longer. So once again, everybody, I want to say thank you for watching my video today on how to make simple tallow soap. I hope you found some good, useful information here. And as always, please feel free to comment, like, share this video, thumbs up, and have a beautiful day, everybody. Go make some tallow soap. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.